Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining my channel today. It's always a pleasure to have you on my channel. If this is the first time you're joining me, thank you for always coming to my channel. I welcome you because you're the first timer. I would highly encourage you to please click that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so that you wouldn't miss any of my contents. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back always. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. For those reaching out privately or directly, I so much appreciate the spirit and the energy. Please continue to like, share, comment, and even refer your friends about what we do here. What we do here is purely project management, agile, and Scrum. So, thank you. Because as of today that I'm making this content is the end of the year for 2023. So I thought we could talk about something that relates to projects, especially when it comes to closing a project as we are closing the year, right? So I just wanted to make sure that it aligns with, the season of the year. So there are times when a project is ending, and as a Scrum Master, you're not sure what to do. You're not sure who to reach out. You're not sure what to do, anyways. Now, myself as a project manager, so I work as a project manager, I have my project management experience and knowledge. So I also know what it means when you are closing a project is always a very important moment. For some Scrum Masters that are not well experienced or not well grounded in project management, it could be very challenging anyways. So today, if you're a Scrum Master and you are struggling when it comes to project management, believe me, today is going to be today's content is going to be very important for you. And as I always continue to make it very clear here that I provide free mentorship. Free mentorship. So if you are a Scrum Master, you are struggling in project management, or you are new to Scrum, or you are transitioning from one career to Scrum or project management, reach out. You can see the contact information on top of the screen. Reach out. Either you send me an email or you connect with me on my Instagram or Facebook, and let's coordinate. Let's collaborate. That is sideways. So let's talk about what we have today. Scrum Master project closure. Now, there are about 11 recommendations, important steps and recommendation I would share with you today. So if you are a Scrum Master and you are not well versed in project management, gather here. Just bring your chair closer. Let's have a conversation. Anyway, so now these 11 recommendations are very important. When a project is winding down, you have done, you've gotten through the last phase of the sprint for that project. What are the activities you could engage yourself with as a Scrum Master? What are you going to do? As the year is winding down, most people are planning to take a vacation, being closer with family and friends, planning some sort of fun activity. But when it comes to project management, what are you going to do? In your last sprint, after the last sprint, what happens? You're like, okay, we're going to wait for the project manager to decide or the stakeholders to decide and tell us what to do, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so as a project manager myself and as a Scrum Master, I have been able to close a project several times, and I've been able to close a sprint and the last phase or whatever in sprint as a Scrum Master. Now, I have taken time to realize that both might be different, depending on the environment, depending on the team dynamics, depending on the stakeholders. But there are about 11 recommendations I'll be sharing with you guys today. The first thing is, when a project is winding down as a Scrum Master, you would need to facilitate a retrospective. Now, we understand what a retrospective is from the sprint perspective. In project management, in a traditional project management, we call it lesson learned time, where we kind of reflect on what has happened, what we have learned over time throughout the initiation phase of the project to the closure. Now, the same thing applies when it comes to Scrum. You need to facilitate a retrospective where you can take a look at what went well, what didn't go well, what are the improvements we need to do. And then that also applies to the Scrum practice. How has Scrum helped us or helped the team to kind of get to the point where they are throughout the sprints? Very important. The second recommendation is to document as you can, and then knowledge transfer. Now, sometimes toward the end of a project, you are moved around as a scrummer, you are shoveled, maybe you are moved from one project, one team to the another. So there is always that room opportunity for you as a scrum master to document information, including, all of the technical documentation, user manuals, and lessons, so that whoever that is coming in to continue from where you stop will find it so easy, something to refer back to. Celebrate achievements. Give honor to whom honor is due, right? In project management, when it was one of the things I do and I encourage my team to do towards the closure of a project is appreciation. Give shout out to people, recommend them, appreciate them. It could be different ways. So celebrate achievements. You've done wonderful so far. Organize something. Let your team members feel like they are really, really part of the organization. They have done well. So think about it. The other one is final deliverables and acceptance. You need to make sure that all of the increments that has been developed so far, all of the potential features that have been built are really acceptable by the customer, and they all met the definition of done. You need to think about release planning and transition. So some projects might have some stuff releases. If that happens to be the case, then you think you need to start planning for the release and then transition into production. Feedback, so stakeholders. There are different ways you can gather feedback. Send out a survey form. Reach out to individual stakeholders. Ask them very direct questions on how they feel or how they have felt over time throughout the sprint 0 or sprint 1 to the final sprint. Project closure reports. Now, you might say, okay, how is it different from the documentation and knowledge transfer? Different in a sense that we need to kind of provide some sort of project performance, including in project management, we call it the iron triangle, the scope, the time, and the budgets. The same thing applies. If there are any unresolved issues or risk that has happened that are still pending, you need to document that. Right. The other things is team availability and next assignment. Sometimes towards the end of the project, some team members are removed from the team, some team members are still retained, some team members are reassigned, stuff like that, depending on the organization. It is a very challenging moment, I must be honest with you guys. Very challenging. Now, so as a Scrum Master, you could also facilitate such a moment to kind of make it so easy for your team members. Some team members might be very scared because when they stay longer on the bench, right, they have no project to engage. Sometimes they might be thinking, oh, this is the time where they could be relieved of their duty or they could be let go, stuff like that. So as a Scrum Master, you could facilitate that reassignment when team members are finished or about to finish up that project sprint. Archiving project artifacts, things like product backlog or sprint backlog, all of the KPIs that we use, cumulative flow chart, burn down chart, you need to document them in Confluence, SharePoint, depending on what your team is using for reference. Stakeholder communication, you need to update the stakeholder that this project has formally come to a closure. And then how could you do that? You could do that through sending out a closure notification via emails or however you guys do that. And maybe some people have a team channel where they can update that. The last but not the least is personal development. Even before the project comes to a closure, don't wait to the last minute to keep upskilling yourself. Engage yourself in training. That is why every Friday I engage or participate or kind of host a webinar. If you have not attended the webinar, always check out my LinkedIn. Check out my LinkedIn. I post out and I host a webinar every Friday. So if you haven't attended, check my profile on LinkedIn and you can see the ones that has happened over time. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything? If I do, or if I did, let us know in the comment section. Thank you guys for being with me, sticking around for this few minutes. It's been a pleasure always and anytime. If you are new to Scrum, don't worry. All you need to do is to reach out, find a mentor. If you think I can work with you, reach out through this information on top of my screen. If you are already a practicing Scrum Master or project manager, but you're not sure, your hands are not still strong, reach out and let's collaborate. Thank you, and thank you, and have a wonderful holiday. And I'll see you again next time. In the meantime, hope you stay well. Bye for now.